I'm buying a 30-acre rundown campground with its own private lake for $1.2 million. And on this exact spot right here, I'm building 6 different tiny homes to keep adding to the value that's here. There's way more acreage that we're gonna expand on. I already made a video talking about the vision, but how much money do I think I'm going to be able to make, and how much is it actually gonna cost? Let's talk about it on today's video.
As a host, the last thing I want to do is play accountant or banker, but that's what I was doing every single weekend. I was flipping through a bunch of apps, looking at bank statements, receipts, trying to match it to a specific property, and I didn't even know which one was losing money or even making money. But then I found Baselane, and it took all of that off of my plate. It's the official BiggerPockets banking platform that automatically sorts my transactions, matches receipts, and shows my cash flow for each property. My tax prep is done and my weekends are back in control. Plus, I'm saving a ton of money on banking fees and apps that I don't really need. You can get your $100 bonus when you sign up today at Baselane using the link in the description, and it's a game changer, I guarantee it.
Hey everyone, my name is Garrett Brown. I'm the resident BiggerPockets short-term rental expert and a short-term rental, tiny home, commercial real estate, RV park investor myself with over 8 years of experience out here. I own over $3 million in assets currently. And this exact piece of land that I'm standing on is $1.2 million worth of those assets at the moment. Now, if you've ever seen any of my other videos, you know that I have a ton of tiny homes, I think 18 now. We call them glamping units. You can call them what you want, cabins, tiny homes, glamping style, all of them the same thing. My goal with these is to build tiny homes for $100,000 that make $100,000 every single year in gross revenue, not walkaway income, gross revenue. And that's exactly what I plan to do on these 5 spots behind me right here. As you saw in the beginning of the video, I'm buying 30 acres on a private lake, which is huge, near Houston, Texas, and near one of my main glamping sites already nearby. So I'm gonna be able to share a lot of resources, teams, and other things that I already have set up out here. Now I'll take you with me over here, and forgive me if I get a little off camera or anything. I'm doing this on my own. I don't have a videographer, as you can tell. One of the really cool things about this site, it was losing money, so I was able to sell or finance it, and I'll put the video in the description that I talked a little bit more about the first steps of this. But this is phase 2 that I'm talking about building. Every single site, there's 53 sites already on here. Some of them I'm keeping as RV sites, short term. They're gonna be way more over there. But this particular hidden site already has 5 set up with electric, water, and septic, which is huge. That's cost the most. They all need a little gravel, a little roading, a little love, but it also has this private lake right there. And I'll be able to put its little community, a sauna, lakefront, and all these things in that area as well. I'm not gonna give my big game plan away of what I'm gonna do to make these really, really unique because, you know, I'm not trying to put that out too early. I'm building geodomes, I will say that, but I'm doing something very, very special with them that I haven't seen other people do. And so I already have it out. I might try to crowdfund for these. I might try to, get investors. I have some funds to just maybe start one at a time on my own. We're working through a few things now, but I want to run down some of the expenses of this. I have 5 different sites. I'm buying geodomes. They're going to be about $20,000 by the time they get here with shipping, with insulation, curtains, everything that goes inside of a geodome, which I built one before. 5 spots, $20,000 right off the bat, $100,000. I might take it one at a time, like I mentioned. But at the same time, this is how I'm game planning for all of the ones that are coming. Now I have water, septic, and electric there. That is huge. It's probably gonna cost me $5,000 to hook up all those utilities inside the geodome. Way cheaper than the one I actually developed, which cost me $15,000 for a water well, $10,000 for a septic tank that was for 2 tiny houses, and electric getting out there, which was probably $10,000 itself each time I brought a new pole and hooked it up. That's why this is so valuable to have the infrastructure already on site. I'm gonna put bathrooms in each one. I debated on if I wanted to do that because one cool thing is there's a communal bathhouse right there. It's got indoor shower, toilets, all that in there. So I didn't have to put bathrooms in the units. It's a little rundown. I'll walk over there and take you through while I keep talking. It needs a little bit of work. Why am I doing that? We have 8 of them that don't have bathrooms in the units. Those perform terribly compared to the ones that have bathrooms, have hot tubs, and have all the amenities of a private couple's vacation. So the one thing I've learned is that if you really want to get your top dollar, you better have an indoor bathroom and you better have a hot tub. I have wood fire and I have electric hot tubs and both of them perform just as well, but the ones that don't perform are the ones without a hot tub. This is the bathroom in here. It's not terrible. Definitely needs some love. It's a little too rustic for me, but the fact that we have the infrastructure means we can just do a simple reset and it's all going to be good. Now, when I'm building these units, I put the bathrooms inside, put the deck, You do a small kitchenette inside, do a little framing. All that's probably gonna be about $10,000 to $15,000 per deck. Probably another $5,000 to furnish the unit. We're gonna have a few that are just king beds and a couple that are 2 full beds inside of it. So that way we can have families and then a couples, or maybe a girls trip or different things like that. So we have a couple different options. After I get each one of them up, I spend about $50,000 to build each one with bathrooms inside, put vinyl plank inside, flooring, mini split units inside to make sure that they're heating and cooling. Then I'm gonna spend about $20,000 on the outside too, putting some possibly wood-fired hot tubs. The thing with some of these RV sites is that they only have 50 amp electricity, so it might not have enough electricity to power a full real deal hot tub. So we might have to go to the 110 volt ones, which I don't really like. We might go to the wood-fired ones, which I have a few, and they're actually better than I thought they were gonna be. Let me know in the comments if you have any opinions. Should I do the 110 volt or the wood fire? I'm pretty sure I know the answer because the 110 volts are interesting to deal with. They take a long time to heat up, but I'm curious what y'all's thoughts are if you've had any experience with that. And I'm gonna fence some of these in. So it's probably about $75,000 per unit. What do I expect each one of these to make? So every single one of my tiny homes in the area on my more private land over here makes about $100,000 in gross revenue, give or take $5,000 depending on the exact home. I don't expect these to make that much. It's a little different vibe, a little closer to each other. It's in a public park, campground, right? Not as private land as the other ones, which just a little different feel. I still expect these to hit between $60,000 to $70,000 gross revenue each unit in the first year. We'll have more expenses because we'll have some cleaning, we'll have utilities, some more workers and helpers and things like that are involved, softwares. We usually run about 50% margins on those type of properties. So we're probably gonna be in the, $30,000 in income before any debts that we're paying on it or anything like that per property. The really cool thing though about RV parks and commercial real estate, the income approach is though, this is what I don't have necessarily at one of my flagship sites, which we're working on when we get big enough, is a camp store. We don't have kayak rentals. We don't have event centers that can be rented. We have golf carts. This can all add on to the lifetime value of a guest when they're here with me, and I can take that 60 to 70,000 and probably bump it up to 70 to 80,000 just because of the extra things I can sell on site. So I'm gradually keep raising the income that comes from these properties, and I get the economies of scale of having cheaper cleaners, cheaper helpers. I can share Wi-Fi's between them. I have Wi-Fi out here, but I probably need to put a few Starlink units out here, which I have in most of my properties, and they become expensive. But because these are kind of in the same area, I can share that Starlink for them and share the cost. So things start to come down way tremendously there. This is the first phase of it. In the next few months, we're going to really start building them out. This could be a really slow process, or it could go really fast, depending on how we do these things. And I want you to stay tuned because I know you're gonna be wanting to pay attention to how we exactly make these things happen and the journey that goes with it, and to see if we can actually turn this park around, which I know we can, to the level that I want it to. And I hope the same for your journey if you're watching and I'm inspiring you a little bit to go figure it out and make it happen. Because I'll be honest, I'm a little scared, but I'm more excited than I've ever been with this project, and you can't fail until you quit. I appreciate y'all watching all the way through to the end of the video. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions or what you want to see me cover as I do this operation, because it's a little new to me. I'm learning a lot myself, and I don't know what y'all want to learn at the same time. Appreciate you watching. I think YouTube wants you to watch one of these videos right here next. I'll see y'all in the next one. Take care.